Okay, hello everybody. I want to do the project share of a Halloween villain box. So it's not necessarily the cutesy Halloween embellishment boxes. This is more of a Halloween horror movie villain box. This was a blast to make. I'm doing it in the group Coffee Cake and Crafting. Tiffany McGill is the administrator, but she will allow, I guess, trusted members to do toe swaps from her group. So she allowed Alfred to host a villain box swap. So this is, a little bit different, but I loved making this. This was a lot of fun. I am not a big fan of horror movies, but I really like the idea. My all-time favorite movie, even though I'm not a fan of horror movies, is technically a horror movie. I absolutely love the movie Aliens. The first one was good, don't get me wrong, but the second one is absolutely my favorite. Such a great movie. I just absolutely love it. Great villain. The alien is so creepy. Love it. So yeah, I just kind of want to jump right down the rabbit hole on this project. I had a blast making it. So I'm just going to get right into it. So what I did basically for the packaging was I decided to use just tissue paper, which I have to say this was my mom's technique. She used it in a pocket letter swap that she recently did. It was a Dexter pocket letter, which was awesome. Great show. That last season never happened as far as I'm concerned. As far as I'm concerned, there was only 7 seasons, but it was a fantastic show. And she started using this technique of using the Tim Holtz red sprays just to make like blood spatter. And I thought it looked really cool, so I did the same thing on the tissue paper. I actually used that technique quite a bit throughout this swap, and I'll explain kind of why. The other thing I made was I wanted to try one of those shaker tags with the tulle. I wanted to call it organza, and I did make another one with organza, but I did it with the red tulle over some sparkly spiderweb paper, and I just put some red and yellow and orangey sequins in it. Somehow a little green guy snuck in there, but what are you gonna do? So I really had fun making that. Really easy, actually. A lot easier than I thought it was gonna be. So that was my first one of those. I actually ended up making a second one, but just wanted to show that real quick. This is actually a lot of fun. This is it's actually a meat cleaver, and believe it or not, it's from the Dollar Tree. No, not Dollar Tree, excuse me. It is from the dollar store. I believe it was a Just a Buck. And it's out of one of those kids' cooking sets. So it's a little plastic meat cleaver, which I just used my hot glue blood drips, which I showed in a tutorial. I just threw a little black bow and a red flatback gem on there. And on the back, I decided to just hot glue a clothespin on there, just so I could clip it on, and then it could be clipped on to whatever C likes to do and whatever she would like to put it on. I had thought of making it, try to hang it somehow, but then I saw that I actually had these black clothespins. Words escape me as soon as I hit record. So yeah, that's gonna be, I think, really cute. But like I said, it was from the Dollar Tree, out of the cooking, not Dollar Tree, excuse me, Just a Buck. I keep wanting to just say Dollar Store, and it keeps coming out Dollar Tree. But the Just a Buck kids cooking set, so we thought that was kind of funny. So yeah, I just basically tied the tulle just into a bow. I did quite a long piece so that I could tie it nice, and it also gave her a nice extra. Nope, didn't want to show. I have my fan on, and because it is just too hot out here today, needed the fan on. Yep, so I just wanted to make sure she got a nice amount of it. And I cut down the tissue paper because every time I try to fold like the ends over, it just starts looking bunchy, and I can never get it to lay right. So I just started cutting it, leaving the ends open. I'd rather, and at least it covers most of it. And I did that on my my Halloween embellishment box swap also, because I wanted it to have that. So since this already wants to blow open, I'm just going to get it opened up and show you what I did. I was really happy with this swap. I had so much fun when she posted the swap. My wheels just started turning, and I was really hoping, because it was recipient's choice, because obviously you're going to make their favorite villain. I know mine was hard with the alien. I knew it was going to be. But I really, really liked, I was really hoping I would get her Jason Voorhees that she wanted. So basically what I did was I ordered a kid's size Jason mask off of Amazon. It really wasn't expensive at all. It was a couple of dollars. I was planning on just getting one from the dollar store, but I'm impatient, and I just couldn't wait for them to start getting the costume stuff out, so I decided to just order it. It really wasn't that much more. It was a kid size. It said ages 3 to 8, and of course, what's the first thing you do when you get a mask? You put it on, and it actually fit me, so I was kind of surprised, but at the same time, it fit on this box perfectly. Really, the only alterations, well, I decorated it a little bit more. I did add the blood coming from the eyes, hot glue blood yet again, but the edges were more rounded, like on the sides here by the straps, so I did end up cutting those down and straightening it out, because what was happening was it wanted to sit way up, and I didn't want it to sit like that. I wanted it to sit more flat against it, because he just kind of sat up, and I didn't like that look. I wanted it more flat on there. I did use a little bit more Tim Holtz inks to distress it a little bit more, to just darken up certain spots so it didn't look so even. So that came out pretty cool. It did already have the red Jason Voorhees markings on it. Yeah, so I was pretty happy with that. Then I also used more of my blood, hot glue blood drips on the front, and I also did them down the sides. I had done them down the sides first, put the mask on and stuff, and I said, it really needs some more red on top. It needs something else on top. So that's what I opted to do. And what else I was really happy with, which I do need to tighten it up a little bit more. It needs a little bit more alteration on the elastic, but I wanted to use it like a belly band to hold the box shut, because this is just a temporary staple, because I did shorten it a little bit, but I will do finalized shortening. I want to tighten it up just a skosh, just to keep it closed, because this is it's the, what was it called? The brand name was Celebrate It box from Michaels. It was $1.49. They're actually picture frame boxes, if you're going to give a picture frame as a gift. And so they're shallow, but I kind of cheated and ended up making it deeper by doing the mask with the band. So that really helped. So I could stuff more in it. So let's just get right into the box now. So when you take the mask off, oh, well, I should probably talk about that too. I also, because it is a kid's actual mask, you could see through it. I used some fleece that I had left over, and I just hot glued the fleece in and made it black so you couldn't see through the eyes and all these little holes. I didn't like the look of it, and I also wanted to do something else underneath that I didn't want you to see until the mask came off. So basically what I did was I printed out a really disgusting looking Jason Voorhees face. Now, throughout the different movies, of course I did my research, but throughout the different movies there's all different Jason Voorhees faces, depending on the movie, I guess. And I guess because he's undead, he can change his face. So I just kind of picked one that was kind of gory looking, it was kind of scary looking, and it also had a decent print quality where I could actually print it out on my printer and it not look junky, not look crappy. And then I just used some glossy accents to highlight some of the yuckier parts and to just give it a little shine and a little something extra. And I think that worked out well. And I think it's a nice surprise when you take the mask off. Yep, and I'll just show inside the mask real quick. Yeah, I just lined it with fleece. It's just what I had. I could have used felt. I probably wouldn't have used paper just because I don't think it would have laid in flat. But I just hot glued it. Just put some hot glue, laid it in, smeared it out, and then just trimmed the edges. Super simple, super easy. Great mask. Love it. So let's get into the box now. Oh, and what I did here was I just used black tissue paper and this netting stuff they sell around Halloween at the Dollar Tree. I always called it fishing net, but it's actually just netting that you can lay over a table or over your mantle. You can use it for decoration just to lay it around. And you get quite a bit of it for $1, and it stretches, so I just cut approximation, and I just folded it over onto the inside where it was longer. No big deal, and I just thought that was a nice touch. So now we're getting into it. So this was kind of cool. One of the reasons why I really liked this project was I loved making my Halloween outdoor decorations last year. I learned great stuff from these great prop makers and these haunt designers. It's a haunted house, but they call them haunt designers. There's a whole thing on that, you know, professionals. And they do some great YouTube videos, and this was a lot of fun. I used a lot of stuff that I had left over from last year. This is all scraps from my foam. This is actually insulation foam. I get it at Home Depot. It comes in giant 4x8 foot sheets. It comes in different thicknesses. I happen to have 2-inch. I actually sliced this down the center to make it about 1 inch thick. So it worked out well. And what I decided to do with this, which I painted it. Oh, I carved it. I carved it out using my fake Dremel tool, which I have a brand new real Dremel tool, and for some reason I'm afraid to use it, and I don't know why. It's just like a weird thing. Sometimes when you have something new, it just seems intimidating. There's a lot of pieces and parts, and so I have a real cheap one from Harbor Freight. I think I paid $8 or $9 for it. It came with all the attachments. It was real simple to use, so I just kind of used that one still. But I do have to break out my new Dremel. But you know, you melt things into it because it is foam. If you're gonna melt, you use I used a soldering iron to do these meltings, and then I carved out the Jason Voorhees mask on there. You can see there's depth and his name. And I just painted it. That foam is really easy to paint with acrylic paint. The stuff I do put outside, I do use latex paint, indoor-outdoor latex, just for durability purposes. But this just, it paints really well, it covers really well, and it looks really good. You got to be careful with spray paint with it. Spray paint and foam, it usually eats the foam. This type of foam, it's so dense, as long as you don't get too close, you actually can spray paint it. I have done it without destroying things. So, but this is a lot of fun to work with. Really enjoyed it. I just put some flowers up here, ribbon flowers, and I got this really cool black spidery. We bought it maybe last year or the year before. It actually comes in like bunches, like the silk flowers would come. And you know, you're supposed to cut it apart or whatever and put like sprigs of it throughout your floral, I can't even think of what they're called right now, but you know what I mean, when you put flowers in a vase. Floral arrangements, there you go. But I was just cutting it apart and kind of rolling it over and hot gluing it in just to give it like a spidery, creepy, crawly look. Kind of like that. But what I decided to make out of this, because I made it and I said, well, now I don't want to just send her this. Like, it needs to be something. So I decided to make it into a clipboard. We had gotten these clipboard clips at Joann's. This one happened to be a magnet, but I used Gorilla Glue actually to glue it in there, just to glue it onto the surface of the foam. So it clips. I had printed out these. I have the whole file. There's more pages to the file, but it's these Happy Mail files. I got them from the Cutting Cafe. I think for the whole file it was maybe $3, and once you download them, you have them forever. So the only thing they ask is if you're going to use them in something you're selling, to make sure you don't cut off any of the copyright stuff, which I think the copyright stuff is only on the cover page though, so I'm not really sure how that would work. But I'm not selling it. I'm giving it away. I don't sell stuff. So it's fine for me. What I ended up doing too, because this is foam, and if you go to write on it, I don't want to indent the foam. I just took some chipboard, covered it with some white paper that I sprayed with some blood splotches, and clipped it in here to give a base to write on the paper without damaging the foam or sinking your pen in and ripping the paper. I also didn't want to staple the pad to the book or to the backer, because I wanted her to be able to change it out with any kind of pad of paper that she would like. So yeah, that just clips back in there, and then she has a nice little pad of paper. I did a lot of stationery in this book, guys. I don't know why, I just did. It's just what I was feeling at the time. Really like this, really had a lot of fun making that. This is just some goodies, just some ribbon, Dollar Tree ribbon, wire ribbon with, you know, it's organza ribbon with the wires on the edge. Some of the skull ribbon, boo. I am going to add a little bit more stuff to this. I found some other stuff I want to add to that, but that's not a big deal. Another one of the goodies, I still have to make some toppers for these. I just didn't want to seal these yet because I might add a little bit more stuff to it. Some beads, like some of these red beaded string beads and stuff like that. So real quick, well, since this popped out and wanted to be open, I'll just start with this. I threw some clasps and jump rings, a little bit of chain, and I had ordered some charms from Amazon. It was a mixture of like Halloween charms kind of thing. So I just threw a skull and crossbones. I found this little hatchet, which I thought was really funny because that works really well for Jason Voorhees. And this little knife. There was like a fork, knife, and a spoon, so of course I just get a better shot on that little knife. I thought that was cute. She can make charms out of them. She can kind of do whatever she would like with them. I tried to not be stingy. I tried to give at least a good 2 feet of chain so she would have some to work with. A bunch of jump rings and a couple of clasps I thought would be nice, and then she could kind of do what she wanted. Then what else did I do in this bag? Oh, I did stick pins that she can make herself. I just threw some beads in, some red beads and some pearl beads, a couple of bottle caps, which I think I'm going to throw some more beads, bottle caps, and the, I don't know what these are, if they're the acrylic stickers, I think is what they're called, that you put, they fit into the bottle caps. And these stick pins with the caps, they have a nice base to glue to. They're angled at the sides, which here, I'll pull one out of the baggie. It's got like an angle on it, so you can actually hang charms and stuff from them. I really like these. I got those from, where did I order them from? It wasn't Amazon. Oh, probably AliExpress or something like that. Yeah, I think that is actually where I ordered them from. Of course, they take so long, I forget. It's like Christmas every time one of their envelopes shows up. The other thing I made were these pens. Jason Voorhees pens. Let me open this one up. I did seal this one. I might replace the bag just because I've opened it like 20 times already. But I did seal it because I wanted to make sure they were actually going to fit into the bag. But I did these are dollar store pens. What I did was you can pop out, well, I'll just show you real quick. You can take the ink out. You can pull this out. I used a pair of little pliers to pull those out. You can pop off the end cap, and I just rolled a piece of paper, one of my scrap pieces that I had sprayed, trying not to get too much glare on it, that I had sprayed just a small, maybe 3/4 of an inch. I rolled it around a barbecue skewer, one of those dollar store, you know, 100 for $1 skewers, and rolled it around that, was able to stick it down through the top, pull the stick out, put the ink back in, put the cap back on, done. I did paint the blue cap black just because it was, you can see it like on this end cap, it's bright blue. So I decided I wanted to leave that blue so she would know the ink is blue, but I didn't want the cap blue, so I painted it black. And I just used a bottle cap Jason Voorhees mask that I printed offline. One of those, I think they're called acrylic. I don't know what they are, but you know, those rubbery clear things that you stick over top the stickers. And it just didn't look right, so I wanted to put, it needed something, so I ended up putting these red beads to kind of have a bloody look. He actually ended up kind of looking like he's got Predator dreads, but that's okay. Predator dreads are awesome, so Predator is pretty cool. So yeah, like this one definitely looks Predator dready, but that's okay. This one's a black pen. It was the gel pens from the dollar store, 8 for $1, I think. Really a good deal. But I did the same exact thing, popped them out. So I did 2 black, 2 blue, depending on what kind of ink she likes, or, you know, sometimes you have to write in black ink, so I wanted to give those. And you can never have enough pens, and she says she loves Jason Voorhees, so I figure she could keep one on her desk, one in the house, one in her purse, one at the office, whatever she wants to do. So that's that. I will put bag toppers on these. The other thing I did was just real quick, I made some of my hot glue blood drips. They can be cut, re-glued on. I painted them, put my rubs. I did do a bag topper on this one just to show how it can be used. I just hot glue them back on. And you can cut them with a pair of scissors to any length you want. That makes that super easy. Now, this was cool. I really, really enjoyed this. This was just... Sorry, I'm trying to get the clip off. For whatever reason, this particular clip is so tight. I have a hard time lifting the thing, but I kind of like it because it really is secure on there. And it's red. But this is just one of those dollar store 3 for $1 composition books. And I found this really funny printout online that says free hugs. Thought it was great. This is an AliExpress dye. It has like it's like a torn paper kind of look, but when you do it in red, it definitely has like a blood look, which I really like. I just covered it in black paper, and then the positive space of that, I just put on the back. She can write her name on it, whatever she wants to do, like this belongs to. And I just thought this was nice. I did line the inside also with black. I didn't like the white cover, and also these covers are super flimsy. So I opted to cover the whole thing in paper and then just 2 pieces front and back, and it really did stiffen it up, and I liked that. But I really just thought that was cute. That can go in her purse. And I just thought that was fun. And the clip just helps keep it closed because I did add so much paper. The other requirement was a card. So I did make a greeting card. I made my own envelope. I used another torn paper die. It was a little different from that one. It's not as jaggedy, but I did like it, and I did do it out of some scrap that I had left over from paper that I had sprayed with the Tim Holtz red spray. It's actually coral, something coral. I forget what it's called, but it comes out nice and red, so I was happy with that. I just used this little skeleton paper. And I used this because I needed a 12 by 12 sheet, and I didn't have anything else solid or that I felt would work in 8.5 by 11, so I decided to use this. It is single-sided paper. It's probably, I believe the paper pack is one of the ones from Michael's, probably last year. So what I did was I just sprayed the back of it with some of that Tim Holtz spray. I told you, I used a lot of this technique just because it's tough. You can't, all the Halloween paper packs and stuff are cutesy. So I ended up using a lot of that technique. So let's get into the greeting card. I didn't want to make it too specific for a holiday or anything like that. So I found this It's Friday thing online. I just thought it was cute. I love all these little memes. I used the torn paper, not the not so jaggedy one. I did it on silver paper, and the reason why I did that was because I figured that would kind of represent his machete and his little hatchet. You know, that was just a design choice. Like I said, I printed out this little guy, It's Friday. And this is actually the Cutting Cottage dies, but it's the one for icicles. But when you do it in red, it really gives it a blood look. So I thought that was kind of cool. Again, sprayed front and back of this with the Tim Holtz spray. And on the inside, it says, "See you at summer camp." Love it. Absolutely love it. Think it was so cute. Used another piece of that icicles in red. Makes it look like blood, and you have a nice spot to write here. Left a little room to write a little to from. And I just thought that was fun. Not too specific. Thought it was great. Even if somebody's just having a rough day on a, you know, happy Friday. On my envelope, I did put a little piece of double stick so that she can seal it up. And done. Loved it. Loved it. Loved it. Had so much fun. Now this, you guys, I don't know if you can already read it. I just want to give a little warning. There is a naughty word on here. It's technically, actually, it's really not a naughty word. I am going to say it because I think this is funny. It's my humor. I think C will be okay with it because it's not blazing and bold and across the front. But if you don't like words like this, just move it along. Just you can shut it off, turn the volume down, make sure the kids aren't around if, you know, you're sensitive to that kind of thing. I just want to put that out there. So here we go, guys. It says, legend, body bagging bitches since 1980. Hilarious. I think that is so funny. In the context, yes, it is derogatory towards women. I apologize for that, but we also have to think of what genre this is. You know, girl running through the woods with the machete-wielding maniac. Oh, my shirt popped open. I mean, this is the genre of movie we're talking about. So I thought it was appropriate, and I think C is fine with that. And what this is the rest of the file that I was talking about. And what it is, it's a Happy Meal tracker. This was, again, from the Cutting Cafe. It was $3. You got these two, plus the Happy Meal ideas that I made the clipboard. And it did come with a cover, like not a cover sheet, but like cutaways that you can, that just says Happy Mail and stuff, but I did not use those. But I thought this was really cute. You could put, you know, when you're doing swaps, you can write, you know, that you mailed it, what you sent, the date maybe that it was due, the person's address, and maybe, it says reason here, but I would, because I know it is Happy Mail, it's not like an official swap, they didn't have an actual swap one, but I was thinking of using the reason as, instead of reason, I was going to make it like what swap, maybe what group, just so you kind of know. And then this is for what you received. So if you want to send a thank you card or something like that, you kind of know what you got from who. And it's a good way, especially if you do YouTube videos and you like to give people credit when they're sending, you know, goodies and stuff that you're going to use in your projects. I thought that would be kind of cool that you could at least write down what they sent so that you have an idea of who stuff is from. So I just thought that was really cool. Again, I just sprayed some white paper. I really like the effect. Like I said, I have to give full credit to my mother for that. Oh, and I just did a machete that I printed off. It's supposed to be Jason's machete. And I did put it up on some foam dots to give it a little height. And there it is. I mean, there you have it. I absolutely loved this swap. I thought this was so much fun. Let me cover up the naughty word. I thought it was so much fun to make. It was really got me back to my roots. It got me excited. I mean, when I saw her post the swap, like my heart skipped a beat. I said, this is my girl right here. I'm so excited. And as soon as I saw her post Jason Voorhees, I was praying that I would get her as my partner because my wheels already started turning. I am 38-year-old female and I love watching YouTube gaming channels. I am not a video gamer. I play one video game, which I'm absolutely obsessed with. I actually bought a PlayStation just so I could buy this game and play this game, and I absolutely love it. But I like to play Fallout 4, but they, the big hit right now, actually one of my managers where I work, he actually owns 2 PlayStations. He had to buy a second one just for this game so that him and his kids could play, because he has 3 kids plus himself, so there's 4 of them, so at least they can both play the game, but they love the Friday the 13th game, which is Jason Voorhees. And so for inspiration, I was watching these guys play this game. It's a great game. It's a lot of fun. I've never physically played it, but I think it's so funny. And like I said, my manager is obsessed with it that he actually bought a second PlayStation. Because he felt like he never got to play, so at least if they had the 2 PlayStations between the 4 of them, 2 could switch off on one, 2 could switch off on the other. And no fighting, everybody's happy. I thought that was hilarious, but that might just be me. But anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you guys liked it. Sorry for the one naughty word. But I gave fair warning. And I hope you guys enjoyed this. It is a little different from what we normally do, but I really was excited about this swap. Really couldn't wait to share it. It's actually not due for like another month, but I was just, so, as soon as I knew that I got her as my partner, that I was paired with C, I was so excited to do Jason Voorhees. I just instantly, my wheels got turning. I was so excited. Couldn't wait to start the project. Couldn't wait to video it. I don't know when I'm going to upload it though, because I don't want her to see it. I definitely won't be sharing this to Coffee Cake and Crafting right away. But I just love this project. So much fun. On the outside, I didn't even talk about the outside. I forgot to talk about this part. But I used toilet paper and diluted white glue. And you get this great, and you just like decoupage it on, but you want it to be wrinkly. And I did it to look like stone, but you can actually do it if you paint it like a fleshy color and you dry brush some maroon and reds in there. You really can get like a bruised look, and it really gives it like a undead flesh, which is really cool technique. I didn't quite want to go that far. That's why I went with the stone. Once I start getting my Halloween stuff out of storage, I will show like the spell books we did, and I did make one look like it was skin, and it was kind of gross, but it is pretty cool. People really seem to like it. Got a kick out of it. But let me cover up that nasty face, because I don't even like looking at it. But I don't mind the mask. But yeah, so that's the swap. Very excited. Cannot wait to finalize and mail it out. Thanks for liking. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, comment, all that fun stuff. Have a good day, everybody.